My name is Missy, and of course, as you know, this is another episode of Guess Who. Now, all you have to do, as you know, is to guess who our guest is this evening. Now, who do I have for you today? I have for you a very scintillating individual, a very exciting individual, a very entertaining individual. But how are you going to guess who this person is? Well, I'm going to give you some clues, which you're going to watch. And those clues will be revealed in just a little bit. But we'll be back right after this break. All right, I can guess that you're pretty excited. So, are you ready for our first set of clues? I'm sure you are. All right, so let's take a look at this and let's see. Maybe you can guess who it is.
He loves to talk. Oh, he loves to talk. But interestingly, he is the best listener I've ever met.
He is very creative. You know, if you don't know him, you judge him.
He's a fun kind of guy, down to earth, very funny. Yeah, he's very funny, he's very witty, and he's filled with a whole lot of principle.
The life of the party, very playful, always playing tricks on people, but at the same time very reliable.
He makes everybody laugh. And he does it in such a way that you always feel comfortable with him, no matter who you are. Poor, rich, you have, you don't have. He just comes down to your level.
Sometimes his mouth is a bit too big, you know. I get that people say the same thing about me, but I get it from him. It's his fault. If it wasn't because of his big mouth, I wouldn't be here.
He was a very stubborn child. You couldn't do anything to him without him fighting back.
Okay. So he's a little bit crazy, he's very exciting, he's very entertaining, but at the same time, he is quite a very, very good listener. And the elderly man in the video actually says that you couldn't do anything to him without coming back from that. Now, I'm not going to ask the audience here yet who they might think it is. Those of you at home might be guessing who it is. I'm not exactly sure who it is. Well, at least I'm not going to reveal who it is yet. So let's just take a look-see and see what else people have to say about him.
He always renews it every time we're together. Something. He manages to bring out the anger in him.
There was this day, we were both bored. It was one of these long, I think in the university, I think we were on strike. And I picked up the phone, I said, hey, what are you doing? I said, man, I'm bored. I said, man, I'm bored too. Okay, what can we do now? Let's write a poem about drinking Gary. Okay, we'll write the poem and nobody will know what the end of the poem will be. We both know it's about someone drinking a cold bowl of Gary on a hot afternoon. But we're going to write it so poetically that it will look like it was something else. I remember a few lines from the poem was, digging deep, rugged and steep. Today, I'm with a spoon and a bowl. I face the enemy. Something crazy like that.
He's the guy that you call at 2 a.m. in the morning and be like, I'm stranded, or blah, 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 and he won't give you an excuse, he will just be there.
Because he was adventurous, we used to hide everything that would hurt him.
He was somewhat of a serious child, so we probably didn't think he would go into the industry he's in now. But in fact, I was convinced he could join the army. But as he finished secondary school and went into university, I guess he came into his own and his personality expanded.
All right, so we're back. You've seen the clues, and now I'm turning to the studio audience, and I want to find out from them if they know who it is. Anybody have any guesses? Okay, and you? All right, what do you think? Wild Child. Wild Child. Who do you think? Pardon? Your. Your. Okay, sorry. Yeah, and you? Olisa. All right, and? All right, so we have quite a few guesses as of yet, right? We've heard a lot of different names. The only way to actually settle it all right, between our audience guests and those of you at home is to actually bring out the individual that is our very, very special guest tonight. This is Mr. Ike Osiadioku. I kill your name. You good?
I'm good. You made my man.
I know. I'm sorry.
Hi guys, how you guys doing? What's up?
All right, it's Ike. Ike, I know. I killed your name. I'm sorry. Can you pronounce that for me?
It's gone. Osaki Odua. Everybody repeats after me. Osaki Odua. Yeah. That's it. Like.
All right, now, can you tell me what Ike actually stands for?
Oh, my full name. I mean, I used to use it back in the day to toast Igbo babes, but it's actually not an Igbo name. It's Ikponwosa. You got that in one. Have you dated the Edo boys before?
Ikponwosa.
Get on that with your bad self. I understand. It's all right.
Okay, so what does that mean?
It means I thank God, and then Osaki Odua means it's God that opens the door to prosperity.
Right. Okay.
Strong name, but I know.
Growing up, you are the middle child of 5, right? How many sisters do you have?
I've got 2 sisters.
You have 2 sisters. Are they older?
One older, one younger.
One younger, and then you
And
have
I've got
2
2 brothers, an
as
older
well,
and a younger
basically. What was it like, being that middle child?
one. You have to make a voice for yourself when you're
Okay.
the middle child. The
Yes.
first gets some amount of attention usually. Though in my case, the dynamic was slightly different. I think the second child is probably more pampered than the first.
Oh, wow,
and then
okay.
the last born gets a lot of attention as well. So if you're in the middle, you have to make some noise for yourself, because you're not special because you're not the first. You're not special because you're not the last. You're not special, you're not the only boy. So you have to make some noise. So I think I was fighting for attention growing up.
Okay. All
You
right.
know, so-
Now, when you were younger, you lived in England with your parents, obviously. I think your dad was on screen.
My mom was on TV. My dad was in the army on course. And we lived all over. It wasn't just England.
Yeah.
It was a whole bunch of places.
Okay.
So yeah.
All right, but there was an
interesting growing up.
incident where I think child welfare came to pick you up because you
There was 2
drank
incidents.
a bottle.
There were 2 incidents.
Oh my goodness.
So the first one was a bottle. They had this bottle of Calpol's
Calpol,
Child
yeah,
Analgesic.
that's
They
what
had
you
it
said.
on a cupboard, and being the flexible sporting individual that I was at the time, I climbed the room divider. I climbed the burglary proof,
Okay.
reached over, got it, drank it. And I thought I was doing a good thing because medicine's good for you, That's what I thought at the time. So it tasted nice, it had a sweet taste. I thought if I drank it, my mom would be proud of me.
Oh, you're a mommy's boy.
Entirely, totally, completely a mommy's boy growing up. And so I drank it. My dad came out of my dad or my mom, I can't remember, came out of the bathroom and I presented the empty bottle. I'm like, finished, They weren't too happy, took me to the hospital, child welfare. It became a bit of a court case type of thing, trying to
Right.
take me from my parents.
Okay, what was the second incident? Because you said there
I
were
burnt
2.
my chest. I've got this huge scar on my chest. My mom was she was about to make, it was winter, she was about to make coffee. And so she had some water percolating, boiling in some corner. And
Okay.
she had poured it into a cup, but it was still really, really hot.
Yeah.
And I recognized what she was doing, but she didn't see me for a split second, so I turned around and grabbed it from the table. It burnt me as I picked it up
Yeah.
because it was way above my head. Luckily, it didn't splash on my face, but it poured straight onto my chest.
Okay.
And I started scratching the chest. So they thought it was neglect or something. So, it was like, I'm not taking care of this boy. Wanted to take me from her, but that didn't work. So both cases,
Okay.
I had to give an account to say how it happened, and that's what saved me.
Yeah. How
So-
old were you?
I can't remember. Honestly, I don't want to lie.
Okay, but you could actually speak up for yourself.
Yeah, I
at this
could. I
period
could
of
speak.
time.
I could talk. So
Thankfully.
So they asked me to give my testimony of what happened because they were accusing her of neglecting me, and I was like, no, that's not what happened. This happened to me. I did this myself.
Of course.
So.
All right, lovely. Okay. Now, growing up, I think I'm not sure if it was your sister, but somebody did say when you were growing up, you were quite the serious child. But at the same time, when you were at the age of 7, you had joined the choir, so you were doing these little
Somebody
things.
did her homework, goodness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what was you know, you were in the choir, and then when you were 15, you also did this thing whereby you put together this radio show, right?
Yeah, wow. That's some stalker stuff right there. Yeah, but
weird
yeah, I
like
did. I had my little radio show recorded onto. Then there were no CDs.
Yes.
And no cool recording devices, so you had to have one of those decks
The
that you
big
record
ones,
and
yeah.
pause. You know, then you play the music from another deck into it, record and pause.
Yeah.
You know, and I had a little mock radio show then back in the day. I had totally forgotten that.
And you had no idea that you wanted to go. Did you at that period of time know that you wanted to
No,
go
I
into the
just
industry
wanted to
you
be
are now?
rich at that time.
Anything.
I wasn't sure. Growing up, I thought you had to do everything once.
Yeah.
I thought you start out being a traffic, or no, I thought you start out being a house help, then you move to being a traffic warden. After being a traffic warden, you become a policeman.
Okay.
Then after you've done that for long enough, somebody makes you a doctor. Then after being a doctor, you start flying around the world as a pilot. That's what I thought.
Oh, that's so cute. You
I know,
had quite
that's-
the imagination,
I know,
didn't
so, you know, I think it was in that phase that I tried out the radio. I had no real idea that I was going to do radio.
Uh-huh.
Not until later in life.
Okay. When you were in university?
No, before university, I had started Iron Radio, but it was in university that I decided
All right.
that, okay, this is what I want to do. It was my final year. I know that I finished studying the course.
You studied
Yeah, that's
economy.
why I studied economics. I had no idea
Yeah.
what I wanted to do, so I thought if you study econs, you can fit in anywhere.
Of course,
you know. So, and then somewhere in my final year, I said, "Come on, boy, let's think. Like, I'm almost out of school. What do I want to do?"
Mm-hmm.
And that's when I realized, okay, look, radio is fun. I get to talk, I get to meet people, and I don't have to work 9 to 5. So that's what I want to do.
All right. And then when you were in university, you did the Campus Circuit TV
Okay.
and everything,
Now I'm
right?
afraid of you.
So you
Okay.
did the Campus Circuit TV.
Yeah.
So obviously that basically, was that your first sort of, dipping your toe into like the TV industry? Was that where you caught
It
the
totally
bug?
was. That was where I caught onto it. That's what I think. I mean, I'd done stage, but I hadn't done TV. Big shout out to a gentleman called Silas Hassan.
Okay.
He used and abused me for that show. 2 seasons without pay.
But it was the passion that was driving you,
I got
right?
the passion for
Yes,
TV.
yes.
I mean, we went to strange places, shot for long hours, but I got the passion for TV, and
That's
I loved it.
fantastic.
And I decided I would like to do it one day, but I didn't have an idea that it would be so close to my future, or that it could be a full career.
A full-blown
you
career
know?
for you.
Yeah,
Now,
so-
right now, you are on Rhythm 93.7.
Yes, I am.
Right. On the, what's the morning show?
No,
What do you
I'm
call
more
it?
on the dance party, which is the evening show. I do
Okay.
one morning show.
Okay, all right.
I used to be all on the morning show, but then I
Yes.
was traveling too much, and the
weren't
show
waking
was
up enough.
suffering.
Yeah.
And so my bosses called me and said, "Hey, would you like to switch to the evening show so you
Okay.
can keep your show
Yeah.
and still do the amount of traveling that you do?"
Of
And,
course.
big shout out to the Silverbird and management, because there are few companies that
That
are
would
willing
actually-
enough, big-minded enough to let you grow.
Yes.
You know, and Silverbird has been pretty good to me,
Yeah.
and have allowed me express myself and grow.
Oh, that's fantastic. So you're obviously, we all know IK, yes. Wild child, not anymore, of course.
Yeah.
You're now a very, very responsible man. You're married. You have a daughter.
Yes.
What is her name?
Micah,
Micah.
a bundle of energy.
Oh, wow. Just like you. Just
Oh,
like
yeah.
her daddy.
Yeah, I think she actually has quite a bit of my personality. She's very talkative. She's restless. She's all over the place. You know, she's she's got loads of energy. She's a non-stop individual. She
Oh,
doesn't
wow.
stop. She's like me. You know, we keep moving until we stop, and then we just fall asleep. We don't take
There's
it
no,
easy.
there's no
and-
halfway.
No, no
there's
halfway.
no half measure.
We're either
there
moving
with
or
you.
sleeping.
Oh, that's fantastic. Tell me, for example, now just think back to when you did that tape, when you were 15 years old in
Yeah.
university, when you did Campus Circuit TV and you were being used and abused 2 years straight working, no pay. Yeah? You started at Rhythm,
Yeah.
and then basically you must have gone for the audition for Big Brother to become the host of Big Brother, right?
Yeah.
And how many people were you up against?
Funny enough, I can't tell because it wasn't just in Nigeria. I knew they were considering people from all over Africa. Yeah, so it was the smallest audition I've been to because it was a closed audition.
Okay.
But the audition with the most pressure that I've been
That
to.
you've ever been to?
There were like 10 of us at the audition, but they were all 10 big boys.
10 big boys.
You know?
How did that make you feel? When you walked into the room, or let's say, for example, you're sitting in the room and you see these people coming in, or you walk in and you see these people sitting there and you know every single face that's in there. How did that
It's
make
quite
you
an
feel?
intimidating feeling because
Yes.
I wasn't necessarily the biggest of the 10.
Of course.
The truth, I think I was probably lower on the cadre than most of them. So
Okay.
you come in and you meet all your boss, you know, all the people that you respect, and they're all auditioning for the role. So in your mind, you're like, okay, if I don't get it, I understand, you know, like these guys are good, you know,
Yes,
so
of
there's no
course.
problem. If I don't
Okay.
get this, man, I understand.
Okay.
Yeah, and plus I bombed the audition. So
Did you really? What did you do?
it was terrible.
Were you babbling?
I was stuttering, I was blabbering. And someone had told us when we got the script,
Yes.
they gave us the script the day before, and they said it's a verbatim, you know, audition, which means you're going to come in and do it as per script. They need
Yeah.
to know that you can stick to the script.
Okay.
Okay, then we got there.
Yeah.
So I've crammed. All right, by this time I've memorized everything, you know,
Yeah.
everything, the commas, the I's, the dotted I's, the crossed T's. I have
Yeah. Uh-huh.
everything up there. And then we get there and the guy says, use your own words. I'm like, guy, why would you do this to me? You know, so I was
That
trying to
threw you.
freestyle, but my mind was not allowing it. I was just stumbling, fumbling, and it took a while.
Okay.
Eventually I got maybe one good take in, and I thought I wasn't going to get the job.
You
Long
got
and short of it,
everything
I
out?
did eventually get the
yeah,
job.
that's the point that I wanted to get at, right?
Yeah.
Between the period of time of the audition to the period of time that you heard, how long was the time in between there?
2-3 day period.
2-3 day period.
Yeah, I mean, there was the audition on the first day.
Uh-huh.
Then there was, no, actually, it was maybe a week. And then 3 days later, I got the call that, oh, the boss wants to meet you, the boss wants to meet you, the boss wants to meet you. And then they took me into a room to brief me about the meeting that I was going to have with the boss.
Oh my
You know,
goodness.
so it was a terrible day for me. I was
But
just,
how did you feel?
it was worse than my audition because, you know, so usually people just introduce you, they're like, oh, meet this
Yeah,
person.
yeah.
And then, you know, that is done. But when someone calls you and sits you down and says, listen, I'm going to introduce you to this person. This is how you know, this is what this person wants to
Yeah.
know. We want you to be in the right frame of mind
Oh my
when you meet this
goodness.
person. So I was, that got me like all scared. I'm like,
Yeah.
okay.
What kind of person
all
am I
right.
meeting?
You know, how bad is this boss, you know? And it turned out she was a lovely lady, interesting to listen to speak with. And it wasn't, you know, she helped me relax, but
Okay.
I was nervous meeting her. I was like, whoa, the boss. And like, oh, God. And she was like, interesting, nice to meet you. And she was like, okay, well, we'll let you know.
Oh
And
my
it was literally one of those, don't call us, we'll call you.
Wow.
So I walked out and I called my wife. I said, okay, you know what? We gave it a good shot. If I don't get this role, it's all good.
Okay.
You know, because I bombed that audition.
Okay.
So, and then I think it was the next day I got the call that, okay, they're done with that process.
Uh-huh.
And I got the job.
And how did you feel at that moment?
I felt good. I like, yeah. I like, yeah. I like, of course I got the job. What are you expecting? You know?
Of course,
I
yeah.
felt good. I was like, also because you know that there are people all over Africa that are being considered
Yeah.
for that same role.
Yeah.
So I was like, yeah. I'm the man, Mr. Desirable, Mr. Most Desirable in Africa.
Of course.
I was like, shoot, call me big brother. What? Yeah, so I was
Okay.
looking around going, yeah, who's your big brother now? You know?
Thank you for everything that
Thank
you
you
shared
for
with
having me.
us, right? But part of the show is basically to bring somebody out to surprise you as well. Because first of all, the most
Okay.
important thing I will say is our audience, right? And
Cool
the
guys,
viewers
by
at
the way.
home. Basically, it's all for them. So, like, it's all about them, and it's all about them, you know, a game that they're playing based on the clues that we're showing them.
Yeah.
But then, you know, we're not saying, you know, last but definitely not the least, it is you, our guest today, Ike.
Okay.
Now, we want to bring to you someone very, very special that I'm sure you won't be able to guess because we worked very, very hard at this, okay?
I've been wondering about
You've been
this.
wondering,
Okay.
yes, well, you will have to wonder just that little bit more. I'm going to bring out your very special guest. Are
Okay.
you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
People have cried.
People have cried.
Yeah.
All right, let's see whether that's gonna happen to me. I did.
You're not so sure about that.
No, I don't think I'm gonna cry. No.
Okay, well, I'll just keep you in suspense for just that little longer, and we shall be back right after this break.
money give it to you. You need big money. Grow fat, dummy. You be goats. Why you won't contract to the back? See your slam, you be like pig. Oh yeah, go one week. Maybe Kushaka. Me, they always stop the league.
I'm with the bomber, who's the fuck your armor, cause the core's mad drama.
Your number. Tell them say the boy got that swag in the ponder. So I'm Ice Prince Amani. I'm J-Town's Grammy. I'm coming out fresh to Mike Jojo Amani.
Okay, so we're back in the studio with IK, and IK says he's ready. He's been waiting.
Ready. Let's do this.
Yeah? You ready for your special guest?
I hope so.
Okay.
Do I owe them money?
I hope not.
I hope not.
Because I can't separate fights.
I'm ready.
The nails, everything.
All right, let's see.
Okay, so you ready
see.
for it?
I'm ready. Let's do this. Let's do this.
Okay.
Bring them out! Bring them out! Bring them out!
That's kind of right. What's wrong with you?
I'm sorry.
Okay, all right.
At least I
Could
continue.
we please have IK's special guest come through the door? Da, da, da.
Oh wow! That's some hard work.
I love it.
He says, this is Omenta Himadu. He taught me how to drive.
Hello.
Yeah. No, seriously. He taught me how to drive.
Okay.
We used to drive through Dolphin Estate. And he had this. Wait, we have to tell the story. He had this red Isuzu.
No, it was a Nissan.
It was a Nissan.
Okay.
And the car used to drive itself. You know, so our special trick.
Oh, come on.
No, I'm serious. No, listen.
No, wait. So now you're trying to pretend that you guys had Knight Rider.
No, listen. We had better than Knight Rider.
What did you
Because
have?
we had space. Knight Rider was a two-seater guy who couldn't carry babes. We had space. Do you understand?
Okay.
We used to drive through Dolphin, and you know he had this special move he used to do. He put his car in gear 1, yeah,
Yes.
and then we'd both step out of the car, and the car would just keep coasting.
And you guys be walking next to the
serious.
car.
I'm not joking.
Okay, show me.
He put the yeah, you know exactly when we see the babes on the streets, we're like, Momento. They just put it in gear 1, and we're like, we both come out of the car, and we're like.
I swear, I really want to see that car. I want to see that move.
What happened to that car?
Taking back.
No, this dude, legend.
Daddy's car.
Legend.
Yeah, something like that.
Okay.
Yeah, legend right here.
Are you
man.
serious?
No, I'm serious. Taught me how to drive. Also, he was one of those bad boys who somehow always had money.
Okay.
I'm not going to tell him how. I'm not going to tell him how you had money, but I'm not going to tell him how you had money. But
my mom might want to show. So.
I know, right? Like seriously, you know, like. But he somehow always had money. So we had the tricks. He had the cars, and I don't know. I was just the guy. And then I was the scrub.
The
you
scrub
know,
in the passenger
the
side,
passenger seat. That was me.
Yeah.
But then he liberated me. He taught me how to drive. He also had a second car.
Okay.
With that white Datsun, goodness. The car was nasty. That one, we never got any babes with that one. Because the gear used to just fall to one side. You know, like, that one, you could hardly tell what gear you were in.
They were in VI.
Oh, God.
And the headlights went off.
Dude.
It dropped. It just fell.
No, it just decided it wasn't doing anymore.
had to use a torch.
To shine outside. So I'm not joking. I'm not joking. We're driving. He's driving and I'm hanging outside. They're like, make it go. All right. You know, like, dude, true story. We had so many adventures in that.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Dude.
Fantastic.
Mad.
Really?
Mad.
Hope you enjoyed the fabulous interview. Do stay tuned for the concluding part next week.